Caroline Dowd-Higgins. Thank you for listening to Your Working Life, my podcast series featuring thought leaders in the career and personal growth arena. Now, I know that you spend a significant portion of your life at work, so I'm on a mission to provide you with tools, inspiration, and resources so you can enjoy your career and love your life. And I am delighted to welcome my very special guest to the show today, Karla Brandau. Karla, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, Caroline. I'm delighted to be here today.
I'm really excited. I want to tell our listening audience all about you. You are the CEO of Workplace Power Institute, located in Atlanta, Georgia. And Karla founded her business over 20 years ago and is a leading authority on leadership for a more productive workforce. Now, your new book, which is forthcoming in 2016 for leadership teams, is Discretionary Effort Leadership, with an accompanying individual coaching course called The Leadership of One. So, Karla, I am really excited to dive into this content. What prompted you to start your business?
Well, I'm a teacher by trade. I love teaching. I love making complex concepts and simplifying them for people so they can understand them. And I was introduced to the speaking and training industry through a friend, and I absolutely fell in love with adult education. And I wanted to help people better understand themselves, which led me into some of the personality and assessments. And I've always been interested in productivity. I was a girl in the 7th grade that had a to-do list stamped on my forehead.
I love that.
Yeah, and so, teaching them about being more productive and time management was a natural for me. And as I got working with these teams, you begin to see a lot of things. And as I worked with them, I could see that things that were missing in their team leadership and in their team relationships. And that led me into leadership and to writing the new book that will be coming out in 2016.
That's so exciting. Let's talk about that. So, why did you write this particular book? And tell me more about discretionary effort leadership, which is really your sweet spot.
It really is. I think when we started working with the teams and when we were coaching some of the team leaders and some of the managers over the teams, we observed there was just this huge disconnect in the way people think they are managing.
Yeah.
And what employees actually say about their managers. And by the way, Caroline, you know that people don't leave their companies because the work's too hard, it's too complex, bad about their heads. They leave because, you know why, right?
They do, but go ahead and say it, my dear. I don't want to take your punchline.
They can't get along with their immediate manager.
So true. It's really reached epic proportions.
Yeah, it really has. And there's this huge gap. And if managers could learn some influence skills, which discretionary effort includes influence skills, but if they could learn some of the principles of discretionary effort leadership themselves, then they would be what we call earning the gift of discretionary effort from their employees, which in turn kind of catapults the company.
Yes.
No, and what was your second question there? You gave me two of them there.
No, that's okay. Good clarification. How did you decide to put this into a book?
Well, there was just so much material that we had. It was like the book just came pouring out.
And you've also got this coaching course which complements it called The Leadership of One. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Yes, the leadership of one, that's a kind of a unique concept, and it comes from a story that my co-author had when he was working with some a very high division level person, and this high division vice president was really concerned about the leadership in his group, and what happened is he asked them what they thought the leadership problems were, and they all were pointing to each other and wondering who was going to get fired, and he looked at them and said, no, you only have one person to lead, and that's yourself.
Yes.
And so the concept behind this is that if you as an individual can become, use your professional growth principles that are coming into play, and I think emotional intelligence has a lot to do with it. If you can become better at relationships with people, then you're going to have more career success. And so we were trying to put all those concepts together and bring them out in the book that will help people, managers, keep their best and their brightest. I think that's kind of what happened.
It's paramount. And I do appreciate that in the book where you talk about this as a career success strategy. And frankly, everybody should be learning this, whether they are the direct report or they are the leader, they may become the leader someday. This is just incredibly important information.
Oh, I totally agree, Caroline. And I do believe that it is a career success strategy. And as you said, it's from the employee side. If they can learn to give discretionary effort, then they're going to be a more valuable employee. And the leaders, if they're going to be able to learn this strategy of earning discretionary effort from employees, then they're going to be having a team around them. They're going to be having productive employees, and the morale in the company goes up. And what we want people to do when they take the Leadership of One course is to be able to inspire the workers and help them focus on goals and help them reach deadlines. But one of the things that came out to me in all my years of doing training is that managers need to remove the blocks to employees' productivity.
Nice. Yeah, so well put. So well put. So what are the hurdles? What are the challenges? And how can you give autonomy to your direct reports to thrive and succeed? Yeah. Karla, I would love for you to define discretionary effort, and let's do a hypothetical. So if a person is giving you discretionary effort, what would you be observing? Just to really contextualize this for the listener.
Oh, sure. Sometimes, discretionary effort is a pretty big word.
Yeah.
And I think that I came up with discretionary effort as a career strategy because doing time management training, there's a concept called discretionary time. And discretionary time is time that you have to decide what to do with your time. And people love to be able to decide what to do with their own time because they love the control. So when you take it into this discretionary effort as far as what I'm giving to the company, well, to define it first, a discretionary effort is the effort above and beyond what it takes to get your paycheck.
Nice.
Some people, in companies, I know you've observed them, only give minimal effort.
Yep. Yep.
They just give enough so they don't get fired. And others, they do what it takes to get the job done. But I think there are some deciding things between discretionary effort, how you can observe that. First of all, it's a choice that people make every day when they walk into work. They kind of mentally say, how hard am I going to work today? Mm-hmm. And so when they're willing to, what you can observe if they are giving discretionary effort is they jump in to help when there's a crisis. And the old things that we've observed for years, and this is also like going the extra mile, people will say, well, they're willing to stay late or come in early. But it goes a little further because they're willing to mentor a new team member. Some people don't like to take that on. But if you're looking for discretionary effort from people, then they will mentor the ones around them. And so those are things that you can physically see. But in my mind, the most important elements of discretionary effort is the things that you can't really see. It's like when employees will give you ideas, when they show their creativity in problem solving, when they will give you a solid analysis of something that they've really thought about. Because see, what you do then is engage their intellect and their mind, not just their brawn. And as managers learn to work with discretionary effort, they can also get their heart. Because, it takes a lot of work to get employees to the stage where they are giving not just the minimal effort, but that they're giving you their intellect, their mind, their brains, their heart and soul. Because if you can get to that stage, the company with the most discretionary effort will win. And those employees will become the company's competitive advantage.
Karla, is discretionary effort a leadership technique or a management technique? And just for the audience's clarity, define the two, leader or manager.
Right. I've had lots of discussions on this with hundreds of people over my 20-year career, and it comes down to kind of two basic things. They finally decide that management is making sure the time sheets are filled out, making sure that they're on track to make the deadline, making sure they're on budget. I mean, going through all those physical things that have to happen. Talking to them if they're late for work every day. Those are kind of the things that management does. But leadership is a special condition, because that's where you inspire them. That's where you get them on board with what the company values and missions and the long-range goals of the company are, and helping them understand what's happening in the chaotic marketplace with your products and your services. And so to me, that's the difference. And leaders, if they can get into that, or if they can become that. In fact, I like to call them charismatic leaders.
I like that. Yeah, absolutely. So let me dive in a little deeper. We talk a lot about employee engagement, and I'm of the mind that it's up to the employee to become engaged and to take the onus to get involved and seek out that professional development, because not every organization is equipped. And if you're lucky enough to have a great leader and a great manager below that, fantastic, but it's not always out there. So the question is, Karla, help define the difference between merely engaging your employees and getting that discretionary effort from them on a regular basis, so it's part of the culture.
That's the goal, absolutely. And when you're thinking about just being engaged, one of the things is that I can be engaged in my work, meaning that I'm busy all day.
Sure.
I might be cleaning out my desk drawers, but I'm busy. And then you have other people that what the phrase comes down with busy is that you can be busy, but maybe you're not really contributing at the level.
Yeah.
So you could be doing busy work, or you could be, well, in time management circles, you talk about doing the B and C tasks, you talk about doing the A tasks. And it's the A tasks that are going to move yourself and your career and your company forward, not the B's and C's. But people can look engaged if they're doing B's and C's.
Right.
And then people can be engaged because they really like the company lunches, they like, the atmosphere, they like their friends here. Or they can be engaged because they want to springboard to another job in the company, or maybe to a totally another company. But when you can get people to tap in and to give you their creativity and their problem-solving ability and take products and services up a notch, that's when you're starting to get discretionary effort. And can I just share a few things that we have in our book about the pyramid that we made?
Yes.
Well, what we've discovered is that employees have to feel safe in the environment that they're in. They can't come to work every day and wonder who has their back.
Yeah.
Or if they're going to be able to go home in the same condition. And in my mind, and of course in today's world, security is huge. Absolutely. With all the things. So physical safety and security come in, but the manager who is also concerned about the well-being of the employee is critical if you're going to get discretionary effort from them, because employees are humans. They've got human emotions, and they have things going on in their lives, and if the manager cares about them and how they're doing as an individual, then that goes a long ways for them earning the gift of discretionary effort. The next step is that they have to have social acceptance in the company, and you know how important that is. That people can, because everyone has strengths and limitations. Mm-hmm. And this is where a lot of the personalities come into play, because managers tend to hire people that are just like them. Right. And that's not often the best thing to do. No. Have you experienced that?
Yes. Well, and it's interesting. I just wrote an article. Diversity in the workforce is in your team. Hire people that do what you don't do well to complement.
Absolutely, that's what you want. But you have to socially accept them, and the little story I like to use is as is, because if you've ever bought anything that was marked as is, like in the scratch and dent section or something.
That's great.
Yeah, I like to say everybody has a scratch or a dent somewhere.
We all have dents, yes.
But when you socially accept them, then they can grow
Yeah.
because they feel safe. And I think that's very, very important. And then the other step that happens is they have to have some type of rational alignment with you, meaning that they have to buy into the company's purpose and mission. They have to buy into the goals. They have to think, you know what, I do fit this. This is something that I can feel like I'm giving my life for. Because, when you work 8 hours a day, you are giving up your life for this company. So it needs to be something that you feel passionate and that you feel strongly about as well. And if you can do those 3 steps as a manager, and you can see how the rational alignment pulls into that, because you're setting out their goals and their project deadlines, and so you're doing things that are kind of intellectual, you mean, or tactical. I like to call it strategic.
Yep.
You're doing the strategic, helping them with that strategic planning, which falls into the removing the blocks the blocks of productivity. If you can do that, then they start to emotionally commit, and they say, I'm going to stay with this company for a long time. And I'd really like, if they're on the stock exchange, I would like to help get that stock up.
Yeah.
And then you start to get what we call authentic contributions from people, so that they, even though they're not on the top of the chart in the organization, but they start to feel like they're a partner in the company's success.
So, Karla, as a coach, someone who's out there working with companies and individuals, do you see a difference in morale when you employ discretionary effort?
Oh, absolutely. And that is so well said, because when you are showing gratitude to your employees for what they've done, sometimes managers will just totally ignore the great contributions that employees have. And, studies show that employees would rather have appreciation than money.
Isn't that something? I know. Which is great, right? Because it's free.
Yeah.
Validation and recognition. My goodness, it's such a great investment. But when you think about the return on investment is extraordinary.
And it doesn't cost one thing.
Right.
But if you're talking to them, giving them direction, and leading them, through these things that we've been saying, giving them social acceptance and leading them through rational alignment, then they feel better, because they know the procedures. They know when things are due. They know the standards. And, of course, you have to teach them that not everything's perfect, because it isn't. But when deadlines are lagging or things like that, the manager can say, well, what can we do to get it on track? Or, how can I get you some help? Those are the managers that become true leaders.
Yeah.
And they start to get the discretionary effort out of their employees.
Exactly. Karla Brandau, what a joy to have you on the show. Your brand new book, Discretionary Effort Leadership, will be out soon. Tell us how we can buy the book and follow you online. You do so many incredible things. You are CEO of Workplace Power Institute. You are a public speaker. You're a corporate coach, certified professional behaviors analyst, and certified professional motivators analyst. You are a woman who does so many things extraordinarily well.
Thank you, Caroline. Well, they can go to my website, www.karlabrandau.com, and Workplace Power goes there as well. So either one that they want to go to. And we started a new website for the Discretionary Effort book. And when that's out, it will be on that website for sale, but it will also be on Amazon and in the major bookstores. So they just need to look for it. There are different items they could purchase on my website, and I do have some things that they can purchase up on Amazon as well. But and when they go to the Discretionary Effort Leadership site, which is www.discretionaryeffortleadership.com, then they can see all the information about the leadership of one in that coaching session that we have going on. And we start new sessions all the time, so if they miss one session, they just have to wait a couple of months and they'll get into the next one.
Excellent. You are a wealth of information. Karla, I wish you great success. I hope our paths cross in person sometime soon, and thank you for sharing your wisdom with us today.
Oh, you're so welcome, and I do hope we get to meet in person as well.
I would enjoy that. And I want to thank all of you for tuning in to Your Working Life, where my goal is to help you design your career destiny so it doesn't happen by default. True career and life satisfaction is possible, and it's time to embrace what you love doing. so you can do more of it. And my show is now available on iTunes, YouTube, Podbean, and Stitcher. And as always, I'd love to hear your comments, so share your feedback. I'm Caroline Dowd-Higgins. Take good care.